All right, so I think most of you guys know me, Dave Bradley. I am filling in for Carolyn, who's hopefully enjoying a nice vacation. I saw some pictures on Facebook that looks like she's had a great time at a family wedding, and I didn't realize it was Italy. I had in my head that she was in France, and I'm like, France? And I saw the wedding pictures, like, oh, she's just probably out on the East Coast or something. And then I hear she's in Italy, and I'm like, all right, I just don't know what's going on. But that's okay. I want to thank Carolyn for giving me the opportunity, and thank you guys for being the willing participants. Yeah, good. Nobody's headed for the door yet. Good sign. We're going to talk about vacation, which you would think is something we'd all be able to get on board with. But we're going to look at some facts and figures, and I think you'll see that maybe that's not true. Maybe some of us struggle with this whole concept of vacation. And as the title says, why do we make it so hard? All right, show of hands. Who is currently on vacation? If you're retired, I want to see your hand up. A little corollary, I heard a couple weeks ago a friend said, oh no, when you're retired, you don't have any weekend days and you don't get any vacation days. And I thought, well, that's sort of a pessimistic way to look at it. I prefer the every day is a vacation day myself. But all right, raise your hand if you're getting ready to go on vacation. Oh, there we go. There we go. Awesome. And by the way, I don't know if you guys, I can see the people out on Facebook that are watching us live. So yeah, Carolyn, I saw your hand go up. That's awesome. So I'm going to go through three things today. I'm talking a little bit about vacations and why it's maybe difficult. Look at some facts and figures on that. I'm going to talk about why vacation is good. That's the second point. And the third point is just some general tips for making a vacation relaxing, and so you come back energized and ready to go. So we're going to start out taking a look at a video that will play. It's really just some slides that look like a video. So we can go ahead and roll that. This is taken from a survey. It's called The Sad State of American Vacation Days. It's a survey done by a travel company, but I've seen dozens of these surveys over the last couple decades, and they all look very similar. So what did they find? They found that typically, of an American, it takes 4 days for you to get relaxed. When you go on vacation, that's 4 days. And then you get 3 days of relaxation. I'm not sure that's really true. 79% of people struggle to just get away on a vacation, period. And when people do go on vacation, 37% feel guilty. They've left all their work to their colleagues back at the office. 26% are worried that taking that vacation is going to make them look like they're not trying, and they won't get a promotion. Half of people are still working on vacation, dialing in, getting on their email. And then the quote that pops up here talks about some of the reasons why, and we're going to go into that in a little more detail. I would say for me, I've always said for years now, it takes me 3 days to unwind when I go on a vacation. I get one relaxed day, and then I start worrying again about what I'm coming back to at work those next 3 days. So I get 1 day out of that whole thing. And I bet a lot of people identify with that. You worry about the travel plans going back, and you worry about what you're coming back to at the office. You're worried about whether your friend's teenage kid watered all your plants or not, whether your dog was sick or not at the pound or wherever you had them being taken care of. All right, so let's look at some of the reasons why people are reluctant to leave on vacation. And again, this is pulled from a number of different surveys. I grouped them into a couple categories. So fear is the top one. Fear that no one else can do your job, or maybe put it a different way, you don't trust that your peers will be able to handle the things that you normally take care of. The second one, others may see that maybe we're not as important as we think we are. So work gets done when we're not there. You come back and things are good. Third one is that you feel like maybe your employer, your boss, may not be happy that you take vacation. And that relates to that point in the earlier slide about maybe you won't get a promotion. The fourth one, maybe you come back and you got an even bigger workload. And that, for me, that's a big one for sure. The first one and the fourth one are big ones for me when I've gone on vacation. The other category is dollars. Maybe we just can't afford to do it. We don't have the money available to rent a car or book a hotel. Or maybe we want to take that vacation time that the company's given us and we want to, at the end of the year, sell it back to get some money, or we want to roll it over to the next year because now this year we're just too busy. Things are too hectic at the office. I can't take vacation. A couple other points. Maybe we just enjoy our job. My job is my life. I think certainly there'll be some folks among us today that will say that. that can be healthy, but there's some reasons why maybe, those vacations still need to be in there, and we'll talk about those. And then, of course, we're going to miss something, good or bad. There's going to be something happen, and we won't be there to be part of it. All right, so why is vacation good for us? You think vacation's good for us? It seems so simple, right? But we've seen the data. I know there are people out listening who are thinking, yeah, that's me. I have a hard time saying, yeah, I'm going to take that week in July off. But it's good for us. So let's talk about why it is. First of all, go on vacation. You get to spend some quality time with your family or your friends, depending on what kind of vacation you take, or maybe in solitude, maybe all alone. Maybe you're doing a backpacking trip through some national park. All good things for you to get away and kind of unplug from everything else that's going on. You get to go learn. So learning is stimulating, right? And that you expand your horizons by learning. You get to go see new places, immerse yourself in new cultures, get new experiences, meet new people, see new activities that you haven't seen before, or participate in those. Maybe go bungee jumping. Not me, but feel free to. So it's good for you, but it's also good for you health-wise. So these are facts. Some of them are very recent from medical studies done. If you take your vacation time, you have a 30% reduction in heart disease. You're 8 times less likely to have a heart attack. 8 times. You're 33% less likely to have a stroke. And if you're an athlete involved in athletics, your response times are 30% faster. And it's all about having a renewed ability to focus. You've freed up your mind from all the noise that gathers in it as you're going through the work week. And so retiring from the pharmaceutical business, I look at things like 30% reduction in heart disease, and I'm like, if we could come up with a drug that does that, we'd be super rich. All you have to do is take vacation, which you're getting anyway, okay? One of the other points we've hit a couple times. So we think that maybe our bosses don't want us to take vacation. How many people feel like there's some pressure to not take vacation? Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't see the 40% of people that I don't see those hands up. I think we create that image because we don't often hear our bosses, our supervision, talk about the importance of vacation. I didn't hear that very often. I had one boss that really talked about that. And in the absence of other information, we tend to create information. That's just what we do, right? And so we tend to come up with this vision that maybe we can't take that time off. Well, in fact, survey after survey of supervisors, HR groups, 81% of our supervision says 81% of people will suffer burnout if they don't take vacation. So they see a 4-to-1 ratio. If you don't take vacation, they're going to feel like you tend to get burned out. 78% of those that take vacations come back with clearer minds, a renewed focus, and more patience. And I absolutely guarantee in my work that patience is critical, right? You start getting snippy with people when you're under pressure, and you've got to be able to just hold that back a little bit. And so the supervision, that they see that, and they want us to take vacation because they see such a huge difference in how we work with our colleagues and how we do our own work. All right, so it's healthy, very, very healthy, I would say. Our bosses want us to go. What does the big guy, what does God have to tell us about taking vacation? So we're going to take a look at a couple of scriptures. First one is from the book of Mark. And it's, sorry, we've got a little bit of noise happening. Is it on? Oh. Okay, so this one's, the headset's cutting in and out. So you should have just used this to begin with. I'm used to holding something out here when I'm up here, so that's okay. All right, so the scripture from Mark. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourself to a quiet place and get some rest." So Jesus is addressing the disciples here, but it's a message that applies to all of us. Clear instruction: get away, unplug, get some rest. Then we'll take a look at some scripture from Ecclesiastes and sort of a similar message. I know that there's nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live.
that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in their toil. This is the gift of God. So to translate that in maybe a little more of an 80s vibe, party on, good doers, right? Do good work. Do good work for our Lord. Do good work for your boss. Do good work. And expect to be able to enjoy yourself. They're the two sides of the same coin. So no need to feel guilty about taking that vacation. God knows it's important for you to enjoy the things that he's provided. All right, so the boss wants us to take vacation. God says vacation's cool, and it's really good for our health. Let's do it, right? Pretty simple. Right? Yeah? All right. Just making sure everyone's still here. I thought maybe everyone has stopped listening and has got their phones out and is pulling up vacation deals and flights and pinging friends. Hey, you want to go to Guatemala? Yeah, that's a great deal on this package. Okay, so how do you make a vacation more relaxing? Let's start with the obvious, but I think often overlooked, certainly in my family over the years. Different people are energized by different kinds of vacations. So you have the people, and I won't ask for a show of hands, but I know there's a strong number of people on both sides. You have the people who say they want to go spend a week on vacation, totally unscheduled, no plans, hotels 50 feet from the beach, I need nothing else, right? I'm in that bucket, and maybe I'll eat at some point during the day. I will put on sunscreen. But that's about it. That's the extent of the planning. And there are people also in my family who look at that week of unscheduled activity and they're terrified by that concept. Right? So maybe the thing to do is to have a discussion about that in advance. Plan that a little bit with the people that are going with you, and include your kids. Include your friends if you're traveling with friends. And do that in advance, because you've been on probably vacations where you're on day 3, day 2, day 3, and the unscheduled activity or the 6 hours a day touring the ancient cities of Rome, it's worn on the people that wanted to just have an unscheduled relaxing vacation as it applied to them, and they're grumpy and they're grouchy and they're nitpicky, right? They're not relaxed. Guess who else is not relaxed? Everybody else. Maybe not just your family, but everybody else that's on the bus with you. 50 other people are not relaxed. All right, so do that up front. Again, seems obvious, but I think we often overlook it. All right, so when you're planning your vacation, plan for no more than 2 activities a day. The reason for that is it allows spontaneity, it allows creativity, it allows you to stimulate that part of your mind by taking those opportunities, those doors that open, and just go in and do it. Fill that time with some things that you wouldn't have time for if you had every 15-minute slot scheduled all day long. And that's sort of let your surroundings take you away. But do plan some things, and I'm probably fairly guilty of this. I mean, even if it's planning, the big parachute ride on the back of the plane, or surfing lessons, or scuba lessons, or whatever, if it's a mostly unscheduled vacation, plan some things, because that makes you get out into that community, into that culture, and experience it. So make some time to do that. I've hit it a couple times already. Unplug. So be in the here and the now, which we, I think, all struggle with. And we've talked about that under a number of different topics here at the Garden. It's so hard for us to be in the now. We spend so much time thinking about what's coming up tomorrow, what's coming up next week, when is this meeting, when is this presentation, when is this game, all these things. We're so often thinking ahead. And then we've got our phones out, we've got our devices out, our tablets, and we're catching up with all the friend drama. We're looking at all the politics that's happening around the world. We're so engaged in things that are not right here around us. That's why you see results like it takes us 4 days to relax on vacation, is because we're not used to being in the here and the now. So start that. Start that when you're going on vacation. Do it in advance. And then when you're on vacation, you'll be able to be relaxed quicker. Couple other things. Don't overindulge, and that's food or drink. Obviously, you don't want to add too many calories, but you want to avoid the guilt, right? You don't want to be on vacation and feel like you've done so much that you've added so many calories, or you've got a headache from too much tequila the night before. You want to be able to not feel that guilt. You want to be able to be there and present, and you want to save space. You want to save yourself the opportunity to take advantage of new things that come up, opportunities that come up, and if you're stuffed, it's hard to go say, well, yeah, let's go to that little taco shack down the beach and see what that's all about. Rest. That seems like a pretty obvious one, but some vacations were charge. Get some rest. Take a nap. Find a hammock. Stretch out on that chaise lounge by the pool or on the beach. Get that rest. It energizes your batteries. And sort of conversely, the other side of the coin, move. Get out and move. Don't just sit in that hammock. Get out and do walks or runs up and down the beach. Go to the gym in the hotel. Burn off a little bit of the probably extra food that you're eating if you're like me on vacation. That helps you, again, get rid of some of that guilt that you might have about enjoying all the things that you're enjoying. And it helps your body. It's good for your mind to get that exercise. So those are just some general things. I think as we hit in the prayer is, God is there with us all the time. The video about finding a church, you don't have to go to church when you're on vacation. Some people do, some people don't. It's sort of what you feel like. But God is always there with you. And that's, again, one of the wonderful things about taking that vacation is that you go to places, you see the beauty that God's provided all around you. It's stunning, and you know that he's there with you. So just take a couple minutes to thank him while you're out there and enjoy that vacation. All right, so I'm going to wrap up. 3 things. It can be hard to take vacation. Keep that in mind. Some of the people that you're trying to get to go on vacation may have some struggle taking that time away. So use some of those points I've talked about to help get them there. 2, vacation's good for you, and everybody wants you to go. Maybe some of your colleagues even. And 3, use some of these tips to be able to do a vacation where you really do get energized and you come back ready to face the challenges that await. All right, so I'll close with a very short prayer. Father, thank you for bringing us all together today. Thank you for those that are out on vacation that have connected with us this morning. Bless us as we go forward, and God, we know you love us, and we're so thankful for everything that you do for us. Amen.